Indian wrestling is on the mat, and no, it's not because of the athletes, it's because of the bosses, the men who run the Wrestling Federation of India, the WFI, Wrestling Federation of India. It's been suspended by the Sports Ministry, and the timing is key. Just last week, the WFI conducted elections. A new panel was elected to run Indian wrestling. And this is the man who became president, Sanjay Singh. But 3 days later, the panel got suspended. The government asked the IOA to take over. That's the Indian Olympic Association, IOA. Strange, right? Not if you've been following Indian wrestling and the controversy. Let me tell you the backstory first. In January 2023, this year, Indian wrestlers began protesting. What was their demand? An investigation into Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. He was then the president of the WFI, also a lawmaker of India's ruling party. The wrestlers accused him of sexual harassment, things like groping, stalking, and seeking sexual favors. Around 7 women accused him. But Brij Bhushan did not step down. He denies all these charges. And that's when the Sports Ministry got involved. It formed a committee to look into the allegations, also called for immediate elections at the WFI. This was way back in April this year, April 2023. It would take another 7 months to hold the elections. Meanwhile, the protests continued. The wrestlers were not happy with the government response. Not even a police complaint had been filed. In the end, the Supreme Court got involved, the top court in India. They asked the Delhi police to file FIRs. The next month, in the month of May, we saw a low point. Protesters and cops faced off during the protests. Some of them were manhandled and detained. That's when global bodies took notice. The International Olympic Committee condemned the police action. Even otherwise, it was disturbing to see this. We are talking about national heroes here, men and women who won medals for India. Seeing them dragged and detained triggered public backlash. Yet, the WFI polls kept getting delayed, and the result was this. In the month of August, the World Wrestling Body suspended WFI. They said no elections, no recognition. Finally, this month, polls were announced, and they were won by Sanjay Singh. End of story, right? New president, new start. Well, not quite. Sanjay Singh is a close aide of Brij Bhushan. He calls him brother. After winning, both men attended a press conference together. It looked like Brij Bhushan got more garlands than Sanjay Singh. So once again, the wrestlers reacted. Olympic medalist Sakshi Malik announced her retirement. Bajrang Punia returned his Padma Shri Award. Punia too is an Olympic medalist. Now, this was all expected. People knew Brij Bhushan's proxy would win the election. So why did the suspension come 3 days later? A couple of reasons. For starters, the brazenness. The WFI doesn't have its own office, so guess where the new panel and president worked from? Brij Bhushan's house, a place where he allegedly harassed wrestlers. That was strike one. Secondly, the new president made a quick-fire decision. He announced that 2 upcoming competitions will be held in Gonda, a city in Uttar Pradesh, also the hometown of Brij Bhushan. So the government said enough is enough. It suspended the WFI panel and the president. Is it a U-turn? Yes, it is. But it's also a strong statement. Brij Bhushan now says he's leaving the sport. He won't be involved in Indian wrestling anymore. Compare that to his statements earlier this year. He refused to leave no matter what. As for the new president, he is cooperating. He has asked the Sports Ministry for some time to build his case. If that fails, he could look at legal options. Either way, the big takeaway is this. The right thing has been done. Should it have taken almost 1 year to get there? Maybe not. But it's better late than never, we say. Wrestlers have welcomed the ministry's move. Some opposition leaders have also supported it. The next step is to rebuild trust. After all, this is wrestling. It may not be India's most popular event, but it has given the country many medals. Around 23 at the World Wrestling Championships, 7 at the Olympics. India has a distinct wrestling culture, one that is a mix of tradition and new age professionalism. It's a mix that has worked for us, which is why rebuilding the trust is important to make sure that athletes feel safe and respected.